Hello, friends. Welcome to the Career Guru Podcast. I am your host, Steve Yanofsky. What a glorious day it is to start your path on a new career. Doors are opening here at the Boston Career Institute even as we speak. And I'm here holding the key for you. So tune in, stay sharp, and enjoy yourself. This is going to be great. Hashtag Let's Career Up.
Greetings, my friends, conversationalists, career gurus, aspiring career gurus. Oh, heck, everybody's welcome. It is I, Steve Yanofsky, your career guru, coming to you once again across the magical waves of the internet to bring you yet another extraordinarily interesting podcast. Today, the career guru wanted to take a chapter from ancient history and biblical stories to talk about career growth and development. Today, wisdom will meet ambition, and ancient stories will guide us to modern success, I can assure you. So today's episode draws inspiration from one of the greatest career transition narratives ever recorded, the journey of the patriarch Jacob. You remember Jacob, son of Isaac, grandson of Abraham. That Jacob, the guy with the ladder. Perhaps some of you may recall Sunday school. I don't know how many people know, but Jacob was well in his 60s when he left home, and he left home under most precarious and interesting circumstances, having purchased his birthright from his brother Esau, and having listened to his mother who told him, son, your brother took a hit out on you. It's time for you to go, but before go, grab a blessing from your blind father, Isaac. Yeah, remember that story? So Jacob was in his 60s, late 60s, as a matter of fact. We know that. And so off he went. He left his home and he journeyed to modern-day Syria, where his mama was from. And, he was going to get married at some point in time. He was a late bloomer. What can I say? He liked to hang out at his mama's house and dad's home. It's free. It's good. You got plenty of food, plenty of this, plenty of that. It's, easy living. What are you going to do? But mama says, you got to go. So off he went. He left the home really without much of a goal, but he knew there was going to be trouble because his brother really didn't like what happened there with the blessings and the birthright and so on and so forth. So he leaves home. And the man is broke. He's got nothing. His daddy's rich, but he's got nothing at this point in time. Now, we know that later in life, Jacob does well for himself, but, a bunch of kids and so on and so forth, money, any way you look at it, everything was good. He leaves everything familiar, his home, his security, his routine. He's in his 60s. I mean, think about that. He had it pretty good. And in today's world, we often hear it's too late to start over or I'm already behind. But Jacob shows us that it's never too late to reinvent yourself. A new chapter can begin any day. Now, on his way to Syria, Jacob, who was a learned man, he was a stay-at-home kind of a guy, liked to read a good book. And not the good book, as we call it today, but a bunch of books, if you could call it that. He was a serious learner and a shepherd and everything else. But he decided to stop by a local college that was headed by one of the ancients, actually, as he was... there was a school, a college of sorts, that one of the sons of Noah created. He and his grandson had a school where Jacob decided to stop by for measly 14 years. He got a PhD or something. So he sat there and he learned the mystical mysteries of the world, and he learned spirituality and whatever he felt he needed to learn. But the fact of the matter is, even though he spent 14 years in studies, one need not think that this was some kind of a delay. No, it's a part of the calling. You're training, you are teaching yourself. It's preparation for your breakthroughs, for your breakout. When he was done with the school, he decided to continue his journey to Syria. And it's important to understand some of this geography, where he was coming from. He lived at the time with his parents in modern day in Gaza. Imagine that. It's all the rage now. It's in the news about Gaza, but that's where Isaac lived. That was his home. And Jacob grew up over there. That's in the south of modern day Israel. And he decided to travel up north to Syria, which is, not such a long journey, but it certainly didn't take 14 years. His parents were wondering. He didn't send a letter. There was nothing. Nobody knew exactly where he was. His brother Asaph didn't know where he was, so he couldn't send out a posse to kill him. But he was making his way to his mother's hometown. On his way to Syria, he passes by a holy place, modern day Israel, modern day Jerusalem, rather. I apologize, where he has the vision. He goes to sleep. Remember that story? He falls asleep. He puts a bunch of rocks around his head to protect his head. And he receives a powerful vision of a ladder reaching to the heavens. Vision often comes when we feel lost or uncertain. Well, Jacob really didn't have much certainty. And what's your ladder moment? What is your purpose? Your purpose is bigger than your challenges. And God knows Jacob had lots of challenges. So he shows up finally in Syria, inspired by the visions he saw on Mount Moriah, where his father was supposed to be brought as a sacrifice. It's a whole separate story. We're not going to delve into that, but it's a holy place. It was the future place of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. So he received this vision of the ladder right there. But, excited, he shows up to his mother's brother's home now in search of a wife. And a place to work and some lodging and so on and so forth. And he meets his soon-to-be father-in-law, Lavan, or some semblance of that name. And who was Laban? He was a manipulative employer who constantly changed his terms. A thief, a manipulator, very toxic individual. And he gets a job. What does that teach us? So far, age doesn't really matter. It's the purpose in your life that counts. Preparation is important. Vision is important. And integrity is important. Your personal ladder story is ahead. Your breakthrough is ahead. Your purpose is bigger than your challenges. This is something that you have to carry with you all the time. Okay? This is the stuff. His ladder meant one thing. Your ladder is something all different altogether. So he gets a job with his soon-to-be father-in-law. He meets his wife. He cheats him out of his wife. He sticks him with another one. Then he marries the one that he was supposed to marry in the first place. Then there's the whole story about the sheep and so on and so forth. Working for this guy was not the best thing to do. It was actually quite awful. To work for his father-in-law. Very toxic individual. If you read the story, if you go back to some of your Sunday school archives, check it out. Check it out what happened to him. But years go by, and no matter what his father-in-law keeps doing to him, his honesty, his integrity, his drive, and his motivation, they carry him through. This man is able to build extraordinary wealth for himself and for his father-in-law. His father-in-law didn't particularly appreciate everything that was done to him. It was a given. Longer gone were the days when his daughter was his only employee. His daughters actually were his shepherds. He didn't have enough money to afford his shepherds. They were all in the sheep herding business back in the day. It's a good family tradition back for the patriarchs. And so Jacob, after having gotten this job with his father-in-law, took over the business. He grew the flocks. Many, many hundreds of men started to work for Laban, and Jacob was in charge of it all. And then at some point in time, there came time for him to leave. And his father-in-law didn't want him to leave, and he wanted to try one more con on him one more time. Okay, I don't have to tell you this entire story about what transpired. It's actually quite a fascinating read. If you have some free time, please look into the patriarchs, and all of their stories are just unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Um, it takes a lot of faith to believe all this stuff, but the career guru believes it, and it works for me. Having persevered through all of this manipulation and theft and abuse, Jacob moves on. He picks up his stuff and he goes. All his wives, all of his children, and so on and so forth. And he moves forward, he moves ahead, and he gets out of that mold that was set for him. A lot of people would just stay. A lot of people would just wither on the vine and just be there. What's wrong? Why should I leave? It's good enough here. I got everything I need. Yeah, I'm already accustomed to working with this crooked individual. Yeah, we're just getting by. This is just good enough. But I want to remind you all that good is the greatest enemy of great, and Jacob wanted great. At some point in time, you have to leave what's good and go for the great. And that's the major difference between people who are the real career gurus and people who are just career guru wannabes. Okay, at some point in time, you have to take action. You have to seek inspiration. No matter how old you are, no matter what your current trade is, there's always something better. I have a personal story from an old student I had. He was an immigrant from communist China some years ago, when it wasn't quite as fashionable to be from China as it is today. Today, China sports high tech and industries and so on and so forth. And God only knows that everything we buy is manufactured over there. No, this was some years ago when it wasn't quite as fashionable. And he was already almost 60 years old at the time. And I had this conversation with him because he was learning with me. And I said, but you're 58 years old. Why are you doing this? He says, because I live in the United States. Most of my friends are already retired. I am looking for a new career. In the United States, it's possible. Not only is it possible, it's great. It's amazing. You can do anything. You just have to focus. What is it that you want? What is it that I want? What can I do? And I'll tell you one thing. If Jacob did it in his 60s, and remember, he married his first wife when he was 83, if I remember correctly. Yes, granted, people lived a little bit longer back then, but, life wasn't all beer and Skittles back 3,500 plus years ago. We have it much better today than they did. Think about it. If the 67-year-old man could leave his family home where he lived in the lap of luxury, then go into the great unknown, he worked for 20 years to earn his wife while pasturing his flocks, growing his father-in-law's wealth. And only after a bunch of years went by, he picked up and he started fresh again, all on his own, but this time laden with livestock and servants and co-workers and so on and so forth. And then, of course, all the other things that happened to him, and the story of Joseph and his abduction and his amazing success in Egypt. We can talk about that another time. I mean, the story of Joseph is absolutely amazing for as far as career growth is concerned, going from serving time to being second in command only to Pharaoh. I'll consider that as the next possible podcast. In the meantime, my friends, look up the story of Jacob and his extraordinary rise from a overgrown teenager to a great success. And on that note, Career Guru signing off and looking forward to our next exciting podcast. Hey, maybe the story of Joseph. Who knows? Let me know what you think. God bless you all. Career Guru signing off.
Well, friends and aspiring career gurus, this was fun. Thank you for tuning in. I feel enlightened, I feel empowered, and I'm feeling grateful that we spend time with you. For more information about Boston Career Institute, please visit our website, bostoncareer.org. Boston Career Institute has 3 campuses located in Brookline, Massachusetts, Malden, Massachusetts, and Lowell, Massachusetts. Call our toll-free number, 888-383-6058. For questions, comments, and/or information about our podcast, email me at thecareerguru@bostoncareer.org. The Career Guru podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, bostoncareer.org, or wherever you stream your podcast. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your rating and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by PodPro Entertainment, The Career Guru lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. # The New Radio. Looking forward to seeing you soon. All the best to you. My name is Steve Yanofsky. I am the Career Guru. May God bless you. # Let's Career Up.